UFO sightings were rare before World War II. After the nuclear bombs fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, that all changed. Perhaps the UFO intelligence became interested in us because we finally reached a level of technological sophistication that made us worth observing, or it could be that they are worried about our handling of this technology. This video addresses some of the most fascinating encounters. Those in and around nuclear bases where they did not just visit but also said hello. In the 60s and 70s, UFO visits to US Air Force bases armed with nuclear missiles and bombers started occurring. And at least on one of these occasions the UFO actively disarmed multiple Minuteman I nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles or ICBM, each one had a yield of 800 kiloton. Just for perspective, these weapons were at least 40 times stronger than the ones dropped on Japan. It's March 1967 at Malmstrom Air Force Base in central Montana. The base is home to dozens of Minuteman I ICBM in underground silos. Officer Robert Salas, a deputy commanding officer at a silo housing 10 ICBM, gets a frantic call from a security guard who says,
He's screaming into the phone. He's yelling, "Sir, I'm looking out the front gate. I see this glowing red object."
The strange red object is moving like nothing the guards have ever seen before.
They were flying very fast across the sky, stopping on a dime, reversing course, making 90-degree angle turns, making no noise.
Shortly afterward, all 10 nuclear ICBM go offline while the UFO is still there. The ICBM are disabled and cannot be launched if they are needed. As Robert Salas tries to bring the missiles back online, he learns from his command that 1 week earlier, a UFO sighting had occurred at another missile silo at the base, and there too all 10 of their ICBM went offline. A later inspection found that the ICBM had been disabled due to a guidance and control system fault. The investigation found no obvious failure or cause for the ICBM to shut down. The best that could be determined was that a 10-volt electrical pulse was introduced into each of the ICBM which disrupted a specific unit. There was no way the missile and silo system could generate this pulse internally, and no known external sources, such as a bolt of lightning, could be found either. Any external source would have to send the pulse through 60 feet of earth and concrete, penetrate cables, and reach each of the missiles around the same time. The missiles were not permanently disabled. They just had to be recalibrated. It's October 1968 at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, which has nuclear ICBM and B-52 bombers. Once again security finds lights moving in ways that conventional aircraft could not. The radar tower sees the object and requests a B-52 bomber that was already in flight to investigate the object. As the bomber pursues the UFO begins matching the heading and altitude of the bomber. The co-pilot describes what he sees.
My estimate overall object was a minimum of 200 feet in diameter, and it was hundreds of feet long. It had a metallic cylinder attached to another section that was shaped like a crescent moon. I felt that this crescent moon part was probably the command center. I tried to look inside the thing, but all I could see was a yellow glow. At that point, I was fairly sure that I was looking at an alien spaceship, something that had come here from some other planet other than Earth.
Additional sightings occurred on these bases and others over the years. Among other visited nuclear bases in the US were Worstmith and Loring Air Force bases. Sightings are not unique to US nuclear bases. They are also seen in England and the former Soviet Union. Near Bentwaters Royal Air Force Base, 100 miles northeast of London, a sighting of a mysterious metallic or black triangular object with lights on the bottom occurs in December 1980. Security witnesses the UFO emitting a beam of light near the weapons storage area. It's also seen landing in a nearby forest and leaving 3 depressions, burn marks on the ground, and radiation. It's known as England's Roswell incident. On the night of October 4, 1987, dozens of soldiers working at a nuclear base in Usovoin in Ukraine saw up to 5 UFO around the same time. Their nuclear ICBM were enabled. What message are the UFO trying to send from their visits and manipulation of nuclear bases and weapons? From Robert Salas.
Why are the extraterrestrials watching us?
Yes, and why they do that things.
They're very concerned about our nuclear weapons. The aliens, I think, want us to evolve to a better condition. By that I mean to evolve to a position where we're not so concerned about our nation, our countries, but we're concerned about humanity as a whole, and that we work together to resolve our problems. And one of those problems is nuclear weapons. How do we get rid of those nuclear weapons? Because as long as they exist, we are in danger of destroying ourselves and the planet. We fight too many wars. You know, our next war may be over water or food, who knows. But somehow we've got to be able to evolve peacefully and work together.